Welcome back, everybody. You know, when it comes to paying your bills during these tough times, the biggest bill, arguably, that everybody seems to have is either you're going to pay your rent or you're going to pay your mortgage. So in tonight's Where's the Money, we've got some advice and definitely some options for you when it comes to those specific bills. Let's tackle rent first. Little known fact, but 43 million of us are renters nationwide. So I went to an expert.
So really it's shifting right now to more financial things.
Brian Carberry is known as the rent advice guy for Apartment Guide, and he's been busy.
What are you telling people who are having a tough time paying their rent right now? What do you say?
You know, if you are having a tough time paying rent, due to financial difficulties you might be facing as a result of being furloughed or losing your job, really the first and best thing that you can do is go to your landlord and let them know the situation that you're in. Explain to them, what your financial situation is or your employment situation. You don't have to be too detailed, but at least let them know, hey, my hours have been cut or my wages have been cut, and the rent amount that I have, it might be challenging for me to meet that amount each month. Ask them for their suggestions and their guidance of what they're going to do or what they might be willing to do.
Brian suggests offering up a payment plan. And remember that security deposit, first and last month's rent? Well, you can use that or some of it if they'll let you. Get creative and ask, but don't just stop paying. You'll hurt your credit and end up evicted eventually. All right, now let's talk mortgage payments. At Bank of America, you can extend your 90-day mortgage payment deferral for an additional 90 days. You don't need any documentation of job loss, and there is no cost associated with this option. Most banks and most lenders have similar options, but you've got to ask. And if you hear the word forbearance, don't get it confused with forgiveness. It means deferred to a later agreed-upon date. At Truist Bank, it means three options: a loan modification, a repayment plan, or repayment at the end of the loan. Basically, they just tack it on to the end. So if you decide to just ghost your bank or your landlord and you decide, well, you know what, I'm just not going to pay right now because I don't have the funds, that is a really, really bad idea. You have to talk to them and you have to let them know what your situation is at the current moment, because not doing so will hurt you for a very, very long time, because eventually, maybe not right now, but eventually they can bring legal action against you. Sarah?
So, Bill, when you say hurt for a long time, hurt for years, explain what you really mean by that.
Okay, so foreclosure and eviction has a very, very long reach, and I don't think a lot of people understand that when they're going through it or when it happens to them, that 4 years from that point, when you're back on your feet financially and you want to go buy a car, they're going to run a credit check on you, and they're going to see that either you've had a foreclosure or that you didn't pay your rent and that somebody put a lien against you, and that is going to impact your credit when you go to buy a car. And if you're a renter and you go to live somewhere else eventually, they're likewise going to run a credit check on you. And the same thing is going to happen if you default on a mortgage. If you default on a mortgage, you're going to have a very, very tough time getting one for at least 7 years. And that's a very, very long time. So up front, it is better to have those conversations with everybody to make sure that the back end of everything runs smoothly.
Yeah, really good information, Bill. Thank you.